What's up everybody, NCmotoRIDER here, and in this video I'm going to be installing a set of Oxford Adventure heated grips on my 2018 V-Strom 1000 XT. I'm also going to be installing a fuse block so I don't have to hook the grips directly to the battery. Let's get it done. Alright everybody, I got the fuse block installed right here along with a relay, and how I have this wired, I have a wire going from the battery to the relay, then I have a wire going from the relay to the fuse block, then I have another wire going from the relay to the fuse box right here as sort of a trigger wire, so that way whenever I turn the switch on it'll power the fuse block. And then of course I have another wire going from the relay to the ground side of the fuse block, and another wire coming from the ground side of the fuse block to the negative side of the battery. I did actually hook the heat controller up to the fuse block and made sure that everything worked. I get power when I turn the switch on. I actually left the heat controller on and turned the switch off and it cut off, so all that's good to go. Did get the controller mounted right here. The bracket that it came with is actually made to mount on your clutch perch, but because my mirror is right here, it won't work, so I just kind of have it zip tied to the handlebars. I'm going to try that, and if there's any problems with it I'll try to figure out some other way to mount it, but for now that should work. And I got this wire running down here. I got it zip tied a few places and ended up running the wire up through here. I didn't take a lot of plastic off. I did have to undo a few places, but here's the wire right here coming from the controller. So that'll be hooked to the fuse block. So positive will hook here, and then negative will hook here, and of course you got to have a fuse in there or it won't work. I do have one of the OEM grips removed. Now I'm not going to glue the heated grips on. I know you're supposed to glue grips on or whatever, but I've installed so many sets of grips and I have never glued any grip whatsoever. The main reason I don't want to glue these is if I ever decide to replace these handlebars with something different, I want to be able to get them off without having to cut them off and ruining them. Now I had Oxford heated grips on my red 650 I used to have. I actually ended up changing the bars on that 650 and I had to cut my heated grips off and then replace them, which was stupid because I wanted to replace the bars. So this way, if I ever need to replace the handlebars, I'll be able to get the grips off and it won't be a big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and get the left grip installed. I'm gonna get the throttle grip installed, and once that's done we'll check it out. Ended up having to modify my throttle tube. I'm not sure how good you can see that. I actually had to cut off the little ribs or whatever that were on it. I just used a razor blade and kind of cut those off. I actually used a bench grinder to grind this right here down. I guess it will depend on what bike you're putting these grips on. You may not have to do any of this, but the OEM grip was fitted on here like a certain way, and if I wouldn't have done this I wouldn't have been able to slide the Oxford grip back far enough. I mean, I could have got it on there, but I would have had to cut more of the grip off than I really want to. So I'm about to put the grip on this and get it installed on the bike, and we'll see how it looks. Alright guys, so I did get the throttle grip installed and it works pretty good. Now I did have to cut down both the grips on the ends, and they are made to do that. Depending on your bike you may not have to cut them down, but I actually had to cut mine down a little bit so that they would go on the handlebar as far as the room I had here. I guess I could have moved some of this over and then wouldn't have to cut the grip, but it really didn't matter to me. But I think they look pretty good. These are actually the wires that will be connected to the grips. They are the black waterproof connectors, which is nice. I think the old versions actually had these white like Molex type connectors that were not waterproof, but these are the new version and they're pretty straightforward. They're just 2-pin, they plug in, and then there's a cap that screws down, then you're good to go. So I'm going to get the grip wires ran and connected and zip tied and whatnot, and we'll see how everything looks once I'm done with that. Alright, so I got the wires all routed and hooked up, got everything looking pretty decent up here. Got plenty of play in the throttle wire. This one kind of just stays where it's at, so that one really doesn't matter as much. Got the fuse block lid on. So this is actually a 6-way fuse block. I could add up to 5 more accessories if I wanted to. I may actually do some kind of auxiliary lighting at some point. So I got the wire coming out from right here, and then it's of course hooked into the fuse block right here. Actually turn the bike on and turn the grips on and let them heat up. Those things will feel really good whenever it's cold outside for sure. I'm excited about using them. I rode the other day and my hands actually hurt because they got so cold. So I'm looking forward to being able to use these heated grips. Go ahead and turn the bike on. And if I hit the plus button, don't know if you can see, yeah, the green light right there is on. All the way up to 100%. And then just hit the negative button until they cut off. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I didn't actually show removing the grips and stuff because that will vary depending on what kind of bike you're putting these on. Some people may not have bar ends, some people may not have hand guards. So as far as taking the grips off, I mean, if you know how to change a set of grips, it's pretty much the same thing, just these have wires connected to them. So it's pretty straightforward as far as doing the grips. That's why I didn't really show that part. I was more wanting to show the whole wiring process and how to actually hook the grip wires up, which, like I said, those can only plug in one way, and then you just screw the cap on and you're done. And they're waterproof, so that's awesome as far as getting caught in the rain and washing the bike and whatever. I'm gonna get my seat put back on and getting everything else buttoned up, and I will be done with this job. Alright guys, I hope this heated grip install helps somebody else do the same thing. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments, and let me know if you use heated grips or not, and if you use Oxford or some other brand. But if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.